Okay, so have you ever heard about, you know how people were always talking about lost civilizations and hidden lands, the
Yeah.
classic mystery trope, right?
Right?
Well, today we're going to dive into something that kind of fits that bill.
Yeah.
Um, we found this super interesting article.
Oh, cool.
It's from the Hawaiian Gazette all the way back in 1907.
Wow. Okay.
And get this, it talks about this map that's supposedly 1,000 years old.
Mm,
And it shows all these land masses that extend way past Antarctica,
really?
like land masses that don't even exist on modern maps.
Okay, now that's intriguing.
Right. So the big questions we're going to try to answer today are, uh, is this map even legit? Like,
Yeah.
could it actually be real?
Yeah.
And if it is, what does that mean?
Hmm.
And also, how does this tie in with all the stuff that Admiral Byrd said about finding land beyond the South Pole?
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
So let's jump in.
All right.
So this map, huh?
Yeah, the map itself is actually pretty fascinating. According to the article, it's drawn on the Mercator projection.
Which is like the,
Yeah, the standard kind of map we're used to seeing, like a cylindrical map,
right.
and it's centered on the North Pole.
Okay.
But the crazy thing is it shows all the continents, like North and South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, you name it.
Okay. That's pretty standard, right? Like for a map.
Yeah, but think about it. This is from 1,000 years ago.
That's true.
And there's more. It even shows the Hawaiian Islands.
Wait a minute. 1,000-year-old map with the Hawaiian Islands?
Yep.
But wasn't Captain Cook supposed to be like the first European to discover Hawaii?
That's right. He discovered them in the 1770s.
So how could a map from way before that even show them?
Exactly. That's one of the things that immediately makes you question this whole thing.
Yeah, like how is that possible?
Right. It just doesn't add up. And it gets even weirder. The article says this map was made by Chinese priests 1,000 years ago,
Okay.
and then it was like hidden away in a Japanese Buddhist temple for centuries, just like totally forgotten.
Wow.
And they even describe it as being like worm-eaten and barely holding together.
Oh,
But then here's the kicker. The article itself says that it could be a hoax.
oh, so they're not even sure themselves.
Nope. They even admit that the whole thing could be fake.
Okay, so we've got this potentially ancient map possibly showing undiscovered territory.
Yeah.
But its origins are super sketchy.
Right.
And then we have Admiral Byrd, who comes back from Operation High Jump in Antarctica in the late 1940s.
Hmm.
And he's saying he saw this massive landmass beyond the South Pole.
It's almost like they're connected somehow, right?
Yeah. So is it possible that there's a link between the two?
It's tempting to think so, but hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's be realistic here. A map from 1,000 years ago showing the continents accurately.
Yeah.
That would be mind-blowing. Back then, cartography, the science of map making,
Right.
it was basically in its infancy.
Oh, I see.
Like most maps from that time were based on guesses, myths,
Yeah.
limited exploration. They didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah, that's true.
And even the idea that the Earth was round was still like a big debate in some places.
So how did people back then even think about those unexplored areas?
Well, there was this popular idea called Terra Australis Incognita.
Say that again?
Terra Australis Incognita. It basically means unknown southern land.
Okay.
It was this belief that there was this huge continent down south that nobody had discovered yet. And this idea stuck around for centuries. And it definitely fueled a lot of exploration and speculation about what might be out there.
Yeah.
So it's possible that this map, if it even exists,
Right.
could have been influenced by that whole Terra Australis thing.
Okay. So let's get back to Admiral Byrd.
All right.
What exactly did he say about this landmass, and how seriously should we take his claims?
Well, Admiral Byrd was a really respected explorer. There's no doubt about that. And Operation High Jump, which happened in 1946 and 47,
Okay.
that was a massive expedition to Antarctica.
Yeah, one of the biggest.
Yeah, they really went all out. And when Byrd came back, he made some interesting statements.
Yeah.
He talked about encountering a landmass beyond the South Pole that was the size of America.
Wow.
Now, whether he said this in some official report or just mentioned it casually,
Right.
the historical record isn't really clear on that, but it definitely got people's attention.
And this was decades after that map was supposedly found.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So while it's easy to get carried away and think they're connected,
Yeah.
got to be careful.
Right.
That gap in time between the map and Byrd's statements makes a direct link pretty unlikely.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, there's no real evidence to back up the map's existence or accuracy.
Other than that one article.
Right. It's just that one article from the Hawaiian Gazette.
So what's the takeaway here? Should we just dismiss this whole thing as an old newspaper story and move on?
I wouldn't go that far.
Real?
Even if it turns out to be a hoax or a misinterpretation,
Right.
this story brings up some really important questions.
Hmm.
Like, why are we so fascinated by the idea of undiscovered lands?
Yeah, like what is it about that that captures our imagination?
I don't know, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it is.
It makes you think about our curiosity as humans and our desire to push the boundaries of what we know.
Right.
And maybe even more importantly, how can we use critical thinking
Yeah,
to evaluate these extraordinary claims?
especially when they play into that sense of wonder and mystery.
Exactly. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement,
Totally.
but we gotta stay grounded.
Well said. I think you really hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah,
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a good mystery,
right.
but it's super important to approach these things with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Couldn't agree more.
So for everyone listening out there, here's something to think about. What if there really are still lost lands out there, just waiting to be discovered?
Hmm.
What would that mean for our understanding of history, geography, even our place in the world?
Yeah,
It's a pretty mind-blowing question.
it is.
And maybe, just maybe, there's more out there than we realize.
Who knows?
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
All right, see ya. Bye. Bye.